The pallium is a narrow band of wool that is worn over the shoulders of the Holy Father, over his mass vestments, and it's adorned with crosses and made of lamp. And the Holy Father gives this to metropolitan archbishops. Those are archbishops who not only have charge of their own archdioceses, but also who help oversee a grouping of dioceses in their region. It is a sign of solidarity or communion with the Pope, and a sign of our communion with the Holy Father. The Fortnight of Freedom is a 2-week period of prayer and reflection and study about religious freedom, hopefully leading to involvement or action in defending it. It opened at Baltimore, which is my archdiocese, in the oldest cathedral in the United States, with a wonderful Mass. We're going to conclude on July the 4th with a Mass at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. Archbishop Chaput of Philadelphia will preach, and at noon on that day, Eastern Time, there's going to be the ringing of church bells so that we might let freedom ring. We are not a political movement. We are not really doing what you would call grassroots organizing. We're really behaving as pastors here, getting people to pray and to reflect and to be informed. I think first and foremost, it's getting people who are people of faith to love their Lord and to practice their faith and to live their faith in the public square. There are challenges at the local, state, and federal level. Catholic adoption agencies have been driven out of business because they refuse to place children with same-sex couples. In Alabama, if churches provide Good Samaritan services to the undocumented, then they are in the crosshairs of the law. At the federal level, I suppose the biggest thing we have going is the Health and Human Services mandate. This mandate would force churches and conscientious private individuals to include in their health care plans for employees pharmaceuticals and surgical procedures that have been judged to be immoral. And the only way you can get an exemption from doing this is to fit into a very narrow government definition of what a church is. The fact of the matter is, when you come to work for a church institution, you know there's a set of values. You know there are teachings. You know it is religiously based. And part of religious freedom is the ability for us to be able to maintain the character of our institutions and not to have to violate our teachings. I think if someone does not share the church's teaching, and yet they want to work for a church institution, I think they probably have to make up their own mind whether they want to work for that kind of institution.